Hi, everyone. I'm Janine McGuire.
And I'm Arri Simon.
Together, we're
McGuire and Simon.
and welcome to McGuire and Simon's Third Thursdays. It is Thursday, January 21st, 2021.
Yeah, 2021.
And this month has been a lot of things. It's been a lot of difficult things. It's been a lot of joyful things, including yesterday with the inauguration. And this month, we decided to devote our Third Thursdays presentation to honoring the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with a song setting that Arri wrote years ago in college. So we'll tell you a little bit about that, and then you'll get to hear a special performance of this beautiful piece by Arri Simon.
Yeah, so Arri Simon and Dr. King Jr. My freshman year in studio masterclass for my composition department, my professor, Dr. Freund, brought us all in a paragraph of the I Have a Dream speech. And it was the same thing because he wanted he was talking about text setting, and he wanted to see and also demonstrate how any different composer is going to treat a text differently. And so, there were about 15 or 20 of us in the class. And I, of course, thought that it should be like a musical theater song, because I guess I knew even then in my very serious composition major that I was going to be writing music for the stage mostly, and it's what my heart was closest to. So I read it, and it read straight off the page to me as a song, as things sometimes do. And if you think about Dr. King and his delivery, as a preacher, but delivering these secular sermons to the masses, and the man sang everything that he read aloud. His voice was like a song, and carried to millions of people in such a beautiful way. And so I think his text sets is really natural to set. And my little 19-year-old self was very happy to get to set these immortal words as an assignment. Sometimes you get really cool assignments, and so it was a joy to do, and has just been something that I've had for years and years and years. That's lived different, quiet, small lives, but I'm glad to have had the chance to do that, and to have that to revisit every year on this week where we celebrate specifically his legacy.
Go back to Mississippi, go back to Alabama, go back to Georgia, go back to Louisiana, go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities, knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends, that in spite of the difficulties and frustrations of the moment, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
Wow, that is so beautiful. Just thank you for sharing it again. Gorgeous, gorgeous setting. And no, I just it's amazing actually to take this little like blast to the past of Arri, the composer in college, very accomplished, as we can all hear. And no, as I just think about that, what was so you wrote this in college, and then what was this the life of this piece? As one of your compositions.
Yeah, so it's I wrote it as that assignment, and then it resurfaced 2 years later. I mean, we all presented them in class and got our feedback, and I did change one thing in the melody based on something somebody said in class. You know, how you get those notes, and it's like, that's a good idea. But then I was taking an opera workshop a couple of years later, and it was taught by Sylvia McNair, the famous opera singer of Met and concert singing fame. And she gave us this assignment because her whole thing is words first, which is one of the reasons I think she's been so successful in opera, because she really, really honors the text and doesn't just sound pretty. And so she wanted everybody to bring in a quote to read, because the first class was on the week of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and she wanted us to bring in a quote by Dr. King to read as a monologue, but it couldn't be from the I Have a Dream speech, she said, because it was too ubiquitous. So we had to choose something a little deeper cut. And so I did that, but then I also knew that I had this, and so I brought it with me, and I had told her about it. And she said, oh, well, if we have time at the end of the class, we'll take a look at that, And I said, okay, great. And so we were dismissing for the day after our 2 or 3 hours in class. And then she stopped and she said, wait, Arri, weren't you going to sing us something? And I was like, oh, it's really okay. She said, no, I want to hear it. Let's all sit down and hear it. So I gave the accompaniment to Adam, the pianist, who is a genius and read it down perfectly, and sang it. And when I finished, Sylvia was wiping tears from her eyes, and she just came and gave me a huge hug, and she was just said it was absolutely beautiful. And she was giving she was doing a concert in Atlanta in the next month, and wondered if she could sing it in the concert. And I was like, I made some joke about her not being famous enough for it or something, and I said, of course. And so it was my first like big public performance of something, by a Grammy award-winning opera singer who was kind enough and liked it enough to ask permission to do it. I was like, yes. So that's there, and has been in some different concerts, and then actually it was the first selection on my application for the BMI workshop where you and I met.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. I remember years ago you told me when we were talking about what songs we had written to get into BMI. All the way back in 2012, we talked about this, and you told me that you had included this in your application. And then like later when I heard the song, I'm like, well, duh, of course you got in. It's such a stunning setting, and it's so. What I love about it is it's so emotional. I think there's so much you in it. It's just that you're forming your artistic voice. So young, and I just love the approach that you took with the setting of the text specifically, and the harmonies, and as you were talking about before, just the drama, of these immortal words, and these words that resonate today. I just think it feels so alive, and so just exciting to hear you sing it right now. So.
Well, thank you. It is really. I mean, in this moment, and I think about my father, who was in the first class integrating his junior high school, in the South, and lived through, hearing this speech on the radio, and seeing Dr. King on the TV back in those days, and how much work that he's done in his lifetime, my father, and how much he's seen in this cycle of steps forward and backward that we take toward change and progress in this way. And then like in our country now, and myself as a Black man in the US now, and just feeling like this is, it's wondering why it's still a dream, but like thankful that it is one that we can hold on to and continue to work toward, in spite of everything in spite of the difficulties and frustrations of the moment, right? I still have a dream. And I feel like he was such a beautiful beacon of the necessity of the promise of the American dream for everybody. And so yeah, they are immortal, beautifully immortal and sadly immortal, I think, words for those reasons. But glad to share them again today.
Thank you so much for doing one of your old songs, even though this is not something that we wrote together. I think it is just so important to put out there right now. And so, I'm so proud as your collaborator, that for everything that you just said and, and contributed, both musically and just, who you are in the world right now is just such a beautiful thing to me. And I'm so proud to be your collaborator.
And I'm grateful to have you as mine. And grateful to all of you for hanging with us on these third Thursdays through all the crazy. We will see you back here next month.
Yep. See you next month. Stay safe and see you in February.